ignoring the ancient times of One Piece when Nika and Im-sama were fighting it out. The Battle of God Valley is the greatest event in the history of One Piece. Welcome to my second channel, and as you're subscribing so you can help your bro, let me tell you the story of God Valley, something that Oda refused to tell you as of now. And don't forget to stay with us until the end because this backstory is pure gold. In chapter 907, we were introduced to the concept of rock pirates, the only super crew in the history of One Piece that not even the Straw Hat Pirates can hope to surpass them. When you have a younger Big Mom who, while weaker, remembers she has Haki, an almost prime Whitebeard with the power to destroy the world, a rising Kaido who is already a one-man army, Golden Lion Shiki who soon will create the biggest pirate empire, the man with the second greatest treasure in the pirate world, Captain John, vampire scientist Stussy, ruler of Pirate Island Ochoku, queen of Amazon Lily Shakuyaku, and many more legends like Silver Axe, gathered under the flag of perhaps the strongest pirate that this world has ever seen. You should know this power was high enough so they can target not only Marine but world government itself. The newspaper of One Piece World claimed that Garp was strong enough to take down this titanic crew, and some morons in One Piece World believed it. Chapter 975 claimed that Roger and Garp joined hands and stopped all of those monsters, and some fans were mistakenly believed that story. But only now we have enough legitimate information to say what exactly happened in that battle. We have Shanks Figarland Garling at the center of all this event, and he is the key for solving the greatest mystery that happened in God Valley. The name God Valley itself fooled a lot of us to believe that this island was a base for the world government and celestial dragons. But no, God Valley wasn't the Emerald City of the One Piece world. It wasn't even part of the world government. It was just a victim to the viciousness of the celestial dragons. This was just a place so people can go and kill people for sport. Yes, only scums like celestial dragons are capable of doing such a heinous public crime. And that's only the beginning of this massive story. As someone who tried to be a good writer one day, Oda is an idol to me. Above all, because he's a god in the art of foreshadowing and giving us the information at the exact time that we need it. So as surprisingly as it may seem, to understand God Valley battle, we need to go back like 15 years ago to the meeting between Shanks and Whitebeard. The epic meeting between Shanks and Whitebeard was a high note in the story. We got introduced to the meaning of Yonko's system. We saw Whitebeard pirates for the first time in full size. Oda told us that Shanks and Buggy were once under Roger in Oro Jackson. Shanks told the truth behind his iconic scar. And we saw advanced version of Conqueror Haki for the first time in the epic clash between Shanks and Whitebeard. And that's not even it. We can see the effects of that chapter even today. Shanks told us his hometown is on Westerblu and he brought a sake from that place. Since Shanks is a saint, the only place in Westerblu that Shanks might consider as his hometown is God Valley. So Oda knew about God Valley even back in the days. Shanks brought a sake from God Valley to honor Whitebeard. How did he reach that sake from the place that was destroyed is beyond my knowledge, and a video on its own. But let's dig deeper. Shanks was the last treasure of God Valley, something that Roger found. So it proves beyond any level of doubt that after the Great Hunt, Garling and other celestial dragons stayed in that island for a while, until Rocks D Xebec attacked them. You see, the fact that that old interaction in that epic chapter gave us all of this information is the reason why we proudly call Oda, Goda, and One Piece peak fiction. So we know God Valley, located at Westerblu, was a place of pleasure, destruction, and plunder for gods. A place that they killed with no mercy, a place that power was abused at the highest order. Honestly, at this point, these gods only need a tiny mustache and we can see them for who they are. But when all of these gods and holy knights and even Gorosei felt safe to go on this island, one pirate was like, okay, this is a good opportunity. Rocks D Xebec, being a great leader and a great fighter, took his chance so he can attack to all of those gods at their weakest form without the protection of the entire marine. So he called up all the Rocks pirates so they can go to Westerblu and kill every celestial dragon they can find. Which is far more smart storytelling than anything we expected before. And this maneuver gives us an understanding about the man who brought all of those Conquer Hockey users under his flag. Now I understand that Rocks D Xebec lost this war at this place, but attacking all of these celestial dragons during this time was a perfect plan. I'm adding this part because apparently I forgot why Xebec attacked God Valley, which is a good thing because now I have a perfect answer for it. Xebec wanted to be the next king of the world, so apparently he knew that Im-sama existed. It's fair to assume Xebec was aware of the Joy Boy prophecy, that only Nika can defeat Im-sama. So no matter how strong his crew was, he needed one devil fruit to win it all. And if you notice in chapter 1095, celestial dragons are receiving 6 boxes as prize. And if you take a closer look, you can see that those boxes are exactly like the box that Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit was inside of it. So not only for killing all the celestial dragons, Xebec wanted to go to God Valley so he can take the Nika devil fruit. But odds are government and celestial dragons had no idea the Gomu Gomu no Mi is the Nika fruit indeed. Even when CP0 had this devil fruit, they had no idea how important this devil fruit is. But Shanks did, and who is Shanks again? The son of Figarland Garling, the person who probably won that devil fruit as his prize, but never used it. Most likely because Garling assumed this devil fruit is too weak for his class. But Shanks exactly was aware about the powers of Joy Boy because apparently Roger told him everything. Putting all the pieces together, it makes perfect sense. Xebec wasn't powerful enough to take down Im-sama, so he needed the sun god Nika devil fruit. The person who got that devil fruit was the father of Shanks, Saint Figarland Garling. And that's why Shanks knew how important that devil fruit is, because he had the information of both Roger and Garling. This is One Piece. One reason is never enough. Killing all the celestial dragons and getting Nika is a worthy motive for Rocks D Xebec and his crew. And it's sad to admit, but on that day, Roger betrayed the piracy. If he wasn't there to save the day, all of the celestial dragons would have been killed by Rocks D Xebec. Some people call Shanks a rat because he had a meeting with Gorosei, while Goldie Roger saved the life of every single celestial dragon. But Roger wasn't the only factor, we also have Garp. We know since a long time ago, Garp was the man who was chasing Rocks pirates. Shakuyaku said it for the first time that 40 years ago, Garp was hunting us down. So it makes perfect sense if Garp follows them into that hell house. You might wonder, where was Sengoku when all of these things happened? Why government chose to give all of this credit to Garp, a D member, and not Sengoku if Sengoku was also there? Well, the reason is Westerblu is a very unlikely place for such a titanic battle. And Garp only was there because he was the marine in charge of chasing down the Rocks pirates. Sengoku or any major marine like Kong, Zoro, or everybody who were in charge back then could have been at the old Marineford, while Garp was the only marine who sensed the upcoming attack and went to God Valley. But at that place, an unlikely alliance took place because there was one more pirate who accidentally, in the point of view of Garp, was in that island. The future Pirate King, Goldie Roger, and his entire crew, including Rayleigh and Gabon, were there. Now, while there is a massive mutual respect between Roger and Garp, working alongside a pirate and marine is not a good idea for either side. But only the gruesome villainy of Xebec was capable of bringing all of these odd allies together. So this could have been the greatest mistake of their life. No matter how evil is Xebec, Government is the final enemy to us. They are the true symbol of tyranny and pure evil. Now, either we have to accept that Xebec was even more evil than Im-sama, or lack of information or perhaps personal grudges against Xebec made Roger and Garp work together in the cost of saving the life of all celestial dragons. But to anyone who is following One Piece with a careful look, they know this battle was a mismatched. Story heavily implied that Garp was the only major hero of Marine in that battle, and even with the help of Roger, that battle was a mismatch. I would even go as far to say, if the hype of Xebec be solid, Xebec and Whitebeard are not losing to Garp and Roger alone. So they needed the help of some other group to make this battle doable. You need to understand, Roger and Garp didn't just win that battle, they won that battle without any major lasting scar. Look at one extreme battle between top tiers, Akainu versus Kuzan, and look at what happened to both of them after the battle was over. So Garp and Roger didn't actually need to win, they needed to win decisively. They cannot fight Xebec and Whitebeard at the same time and leave the battle without any lasting scar. Rocks pirates were significantly stronger than the alliance between Roger and Garp, so Roger and Garp needed more help. I originally assumed that the only way to make this battle fair is if Whitebeard refused to fight for Xebec. But now, we have the only key for solving this problem, Shanks Figarland Garling. Garling is the judge of all gods, the champion of God Valley Tournament, the leader of Holy Knights, the father of Shanks who looks exactly like him, and his power should not be anything less than a Yonko-level character. This is not a guessing game to hype the father of Shanks. This is what Whitebeard told us 10-15 years ago in the same chapter that I was talking about, the meeting between Shanks and Whitebeard. Whitebeard said, "Every time I see your face, the scar I got from that bastard itches." The son of Roger is working for Whitebeard, and he's saying that to Shanks. Whitebeard is not talking about Roger. So as I said, in this battle, Xebec had somebody like Prime Whitebeard with him. Somebody needed to match him up, while Garp and Roger are fighting with Xebec himself. And that person, evidently and logically, is Shanks Figarland Garling. And I have to wonder what type of villainy Xebec was capable of doing. Because ignoring Im-sama, which is an unknown character, Garling is the most racist and perhaps the most evil person you can find on world government. Roger and Garp were fine working with this man in order to stop the tyranny of Xebec. All in all, I'm saying for years that Garp and Roger weren't enough to take down the massive crew of Rocks pirates. But now, when we know all the God Knights are strong character, we have at least one Gorosei member in the island, and Rocks D Xebec is facing against Garling, we should know that this battle was pretty much even, if not in favor of world government. Rocks D Xebec wanted to take an opportunity and destroy all of the Celestial Dragon at their own game, and he could have done that if it wasn't for Garp and Roger. Though now we should know, since all of the 5 elders are very strong top tiers, and on top of that, Imu might be even above all of them, if Rocks D Xebec would have attacked the Holy Land itself, he had less than 0 chance of defeating Imu, all of the 5 Gorosei, Garling, and all of the Holy Knights, and Admirals and Marine. He had 0 chance of winning that battle. So perhaps that's the reason he attacked God Valley, in hope of achieving a massive victory in a very low cost. I'm not really particularly a fan of the idea that pirates never had any chance to take down world government, especially the Rocks pirates, but evidence imply in an actual real war in the Holy Land of Marijoist, even Xebec was too weak to win that war, because world government, as of now, after the recent chapters, is by far the strongest organization in the story of One Piece. The aftermath of God Valley created a new Yonko system, and gave Shanks to Roger, which created two new Yonko, Shanks and Bud. If you've been with me so far, comment down below Saint Scum. And if you are with me so far, do not forget to like and subscribe and share the video if you enjoyed what I said. I hope you enjoyed this video and I see you all at Laugh Tale.